Yeah, that's been my past couple weeks, and so now I'm home recovering and getting ready to start training real hard for the official Strongman games in November.
How long have you been doing strongman now?
Strongman for me started, I actually got into strength sports because of Strongman back in the early 2000s when Jill Mills was on TV, and she
Mhm.
was from Texas, and like she was my height, my build, and I was like, hey, I told my husband, I was like, I think I want to do this. I want to give it a try. And I was in my late 20s, and you know, um, we went down to San Antonio and met her, and she was very open. Still is a
Mhm.
good friend now, and this was before internet really had taken off and everything. And come home, and I told Scotty, I said, I was like, the availability of the implements is not there.
Mhm.
Back in the early 20s, you just didn't run into an everyday gym and find an Atlas stone or a sandbag or a yoke or anything like that. So that's when I'd heard about Johnny and his crew on Fort Hood, and that's how I
Johnny
literally
Graham.
Googled, yeah, yeah, I literally Googled powerlifting in Central Texas, and his name come up, and I called him, and the rest is history. Because I've been in powerlifting now for almost 25 years. But back when COVID hit, that shut down all of our international traveling.
Mhm.
Back then, that's all I was competing in was internationally. I was competing, with IPF, and then doing the regional things and things like that. And but NAPF, yeah. And so, my gym at the time that I trained at was pretty heavy and strongman, and I was like, you know what? I'll jump in with you guys. I have a decent foundation, and I just got the bug for it. And, then of course the USAPL split with IPF, and there went all the international competitions. And
Mhm.
I made the choice not to go, um, PA out of my loyalty for, Johnny and USAPL. And then so I went strongman instead.
And sounds like you're loving it, having a great time.
I do. I am. I'm loving it. It's the culture is a lot like our powerlifting culture. It's a lot like our equipped powerlifting culture. You remember that? We don't have
I
that quite so much anymore.
Yeah, you're not the first person to tell me that. And hanging around with WA Strongman here where I lived the last few years, you really do feel that it's a different kind of atmosphere and culture around. It's
Yeah.
almost like everyone's a little bit more unhinged than regular powerlifters are now,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We had to be pretty crazy to do some of the stuff that we were doing in that equipment.
right? Yeah. And because when you started powerlifting, that's all there was, wasn't there? It was all single ply
Yeah.
powerlifting.
Yep. It
Yep.
was all single block. There was no raw.
And so did you do your first comp in Killeen? Is that how you got going?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
Did my first local competition in Killeen. I live like 30 miles from Killeen. Didn't know
Hmm.
that it was just in my backyard, and so that, of course, helped keep me focused and keep me motivated and stuff because it was just right down the road. And I was going to college at that point in time in Killeen, and so I really didn't have an excuse. I'd get off work, I'd go train, and then I'd go to class.
There you go. So
Yeah.
let's go through what you did in powerlifting because it's like you did a lot.